Now another senior Rotax race. Heat 4 out of 6, and now this time it is groups B and D. Your grid is as follows. Sean Butcher and Lachlan Robinson round out the front row, representing the UK and the UAE respectively. And it's Dave Blum and Dylan LaHaye, with Teresa Babikova, Luca Leistra, Milan Coppens, Maurice Schuring, Laura Zanen and Bradley Barrett rounding out the top 10 positions. Fabian Bock and Victor Plateau from Germany and Belgium respectively round out the top 12 positions, ahead of Ben Burgess from Great Britain and Emily de Hoys from the Netherlands. Arthur Horsch and Harley Horton complete row 8, ahead of Robin Knutsson from Sweden, Kian Sang from Great Britain, Amadine Travadon from France, and Scott Westhovens from the Netherlands rounding out the top 20, with Clementine Benoit and Remco Bahn rounding out the 22 strong. 9 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap on the timer. So we'll have 2 more heats to go. And the weekend result will be decided through the pre-final and the final tomorrow. We will have a second chance heat tomorrow morning for the drivers that qualified out of the top 30. So it will be down to the duo of Butcher and Robinson to get the formation underway here. So the red lights are on the gantry. Butcher and Robinson slot into position, with the grid quickly following them. Round the final corner they come. All 22 drivers ready to go racing. They bunch up, they go into the tram lines. This time we are off and away, heading down towards turns 1 and 2. Great start by Butcher, and up the inside trying to go there is Dave Blom up the inside of Lachlan Robinson and gets through. Robinson manages to keep to third place at the moment, as there's Babikova and LaHaye going side by side pretty much through turn 3 and 4. But LaHaye looks to have got ahead for the minute, or no, he hasn't. And right behind is Luca Leistra from Belgium, Milan Coppens, Lars Zanen and Maurice Schuring and Fabian Bock. That's the top 10. As it looks like there are more positional changes up the order. And again, another change a little bit further down the order. And it looks to be very much the case that there are nearly 3 abreast going through. And one driver that's losing out big time is Belgian Victor Plateau from GKS Lemons Power, as one of the drivers runs a little bit wide coming through, and they are all nearly tripping over each other as Victor Plateau manages to go back up the inside past another driver into turn 10. But meanwhile, at the moment, looks like Sean Butcher has got the hammer down well and truly across the line to complete lap number 1. He leads from Lachlan Robinson by 0.740 of a second, and puts in a 56.871 lap time in the process. More drivers battling away, and you can just see from 3rd all the way down to around about 10th to 11th position, as there's more side-by-side action heading into the left-hander at turn 5. Down the back straightaway they go, and there is it's nearly 3 abreast between 3 drivers round at the back end of the field. So as they all head their way into turn 7 into turn 8, a clean lead now by Sean Butcher. As they now make their way down, looks like it's LaHaye ahead of Blom in for 3rd place. Leistra now trying to go up the inside of Dave Blom and makes the move nice and cleanly, and then right onto the back of the driver goes. Now where is, I'm going to keep an eye for Teresa Babikova, who didn't have a great heat a bit earlier on. So Butcher leads, Robinson second, as, oh, now this is getting feisty, as that was, I think that was the 3.14 of Maurice Schuring sending it up the inside into turn 2, as there's more argy-bargy heading through turns 3 and 4. And oh my goodness, one kart has a right rear wheel that nearly drops it as a result of touching the grass on the outside of the curbing going through the exit of turn number 4. Oh my goodness me. So Luca Leistra and Milan Coppens have now got past Dave Blom. Teresa Babikova all the way down in 7th position ahead of Maurice Schuring. Ben Burgess gets past Lars Zanen for 9th place. So there's still plenty of battles to be had in the next 6 minutes and 24 seconds, plus an additional lap with Butcher leading, Robinson second, Dylan LaHaye, the defending senior road tax champion for the BNL karting series, now into third place. A little bit ahead of Leistra as Blom, Babikova and Schuring are battling all over each other, battling away. As Ben Burgess now is getting into the thick of things, and up the inside, that was Teresa Babikova, up the inside of the 370 of Dave Blum, and Brad Barrett gets through. Oh no, who was that? It was Dave Blum going wide out of turn 4, and there's more changes for positions all the way through turn number 6. I think Teresa Babikova's just made a brilliant move on Ben Burgess, if that looks to be the case. But oh my goodness me, again, senior road tax never fails to excite and captivate the attention of those watching at home. So 5.5 minutes still to go on the clock. Everything is yet to be decided. And at the moment, Sean Butcher is leading proceedings so far in this particular race, and he did have a gap of 0.723 last time around. It's now 0.777 ahead of Lachlan Robinson, who's now coming under fire quite substantially by Dylan LaHaye. And a little bit further down the order, there is Bradley Barrett going side by side with Ben Burgess through turn 3. Oh, that nearly ended up being very, very nasty as Maurice Schuring tries to go up the inside of the Sodi Vitesse driver. As Brad Barrett now sends it up the inside of Ben Burgess, gets past, and then I think Schuring was trying to get past through as well, but couldn't get the job done. I can see that Artur Horsch is very much entrenched in this particular battle. So there's Lars Zanen, I think, has even gotten in to the action. 4.5 minutes plus an additional lap still to go. Anyone's guess. Aran Bloch goes, Dave Blom is going faster back than he can go forwards. Nice observation there. You took the words right out of my mouth. He's now down in P13 at the minute. But the gap really between Sean Butcher and Lachlan Robinson is still around the 0.7 of a second mark thereof. Dylan LaHaye is still trying to battle with the driver from the UAE and is about 0.4 of a second adrift, or 0.3 of a second adrift at the minute. Leistra keeping it steady in 4th, a little bit further adrift, so the young Belgian having a bit of a lonely race at the minute. Milan Koppens up into P5, Teresa Babikova, Bradley Barrett, Ben Burgess, Maurice Schuring and Lara Zanen round out the top 10 positions. As Lara Zanen getting a bit closer in the thick of things as they head down into turn 10, the right-hand sweeper. So we're fast getting through this race, and Sean Butcher looks to be in pretty much good form to keep it ahead of Lachlan Robinson. So running order at the moment. Oh no, well hang on the inside, that was Emily oh no, there's been a clash. Maurice Schuring, and that is Emily de Hoys. So when Emily de Hoys is... Oh my goodness, what happened there? There was a car that went flying through. Was that Harley Horton or Robin Knutson? Oh my goodness me, someone's just had the left-hand side of their car run over by a Chaos Sport driver. Oh my goodness. Because as soon as Emily de Hoys and Maurice Schuring... Now, from what it looked like, that Emily de Hoys was going for a move on Lars Zanen into turn 2. It didn't quite work out, and unfortunately collected Maurice Schuring in the process. And that was not what the pair wanted, and that's put them on the back foot. I just hope that they can start to recover from that, but the time is still running out, fast running out, 2.5 minutes, plus an additional lap. The gap now between Sean Butcher and Lachlan Robinson, they're running comparatively on pace, 55.4s for the pair of them. Dylan LaHaye is running on a, well, Sean Butcher's just done a, last time out he's done a 55.535, a 55.477 for Lachlan Robinson. Dylan LaHaye a 55.484, Luca Leistra a 55.5, 55.7 from Milan Koppens. And as a result of that tangle, Emily de Hoys has dropped to 16th and Maurice Schuring has dropped to 14th position. And here is the battle between Milan Koppens and Teresa Babikova. This is for P5. And not too far behind looks to be, I think that's Bradley Barrett, now running in P7 at the minute. Ben Burgess in 8th, Lars Zanen and Artur Horsch running at the top 10 positions. Dave Blom, Harley Horton, Robin Knutson rounding out the top 13 in the minute. We'll just see as more people. Oh, that's a great move by Teresa Babikova up the inside of Milan Koppens. Through into turn 2, got the toe and got past very, very quickly indeed. As the race is fast approaching its inevitable conclusion for our 4 out of 6 races for senior Rotax here today on the first day of competition for round 1 of the 2020 BNL Karting Series season. As Teresa Babikova now taking a brief glimpse towards the left as a reference points, I believe, as we go into the last 47 seconds. And after this lap, Sean Butcher will be the first one to see the last lap board. Then Lachlan Robinson and Dylan LaHaye, they round out the top 3. Then it's Luca Leistra, who's had a very lonely race, but a good solid consistency from the Belgian. As again, into the braking zone, Lachlan Robinson gets closed in on as Milan Koppens getting caught by Bradley Barrett from Great Britain, running on the Sodi kart. So the 327 up the inside of the 344, nicely done through turn 6. So the Brit makes the move through, up into P6. Nice and smooth and consistent. So, oh, and Nabs absolutely steals that place. Now, there is a problem for one particular driver. Now, who is that in front? That is Lachlan Robinson. Robinson's had dramas. Now, what has happened to Robinson? He's now battling away as Babikova up the inside of Barrett. We're now going to go on to the last lap. And this means that, well, what's happened to Sean Butcher? Now, my biggest question, where is Sean Butcher? Where is Sean Butcher? Has there been an incident that I haven't noticed? Because now Dylan LaHaye is leading. Luca Leistra. Sean Butcher has dropped down to 11th position as there's more argy-bargy as Bradley Barrett goes round the inside of Lachlan Robinson through into turn 3. So I'm not too sure what happened, but Bradley Barrett now is up into what is effectively going to be P5, as now he'll have Milan Koppens. He's got behind him, looks like Ben Burgess, as Milan Koppens now coming into the clutches of Lars Zanen coming through into turn 8. But there's been drama for Sean Butcher, who's now in 11th position. I'm not too sure what happened there, but the 328 of Dylan LaHaye comes round the final corner ahead of Luca Leistra, and it makes it a Belgian 1-2 as the GKS Lemons Power driver takes the checkered flag ahead of Leistra by 0.841 of a second. Lachlan Robinson takes P3 ahead of Teresa Babikova. Bradley Barrett and Ben Burgess make it a British 5-6. Lara Zanen behind Milan Koppens with Arthur Hoche from France in 9th ahead of Sean Butcher, who took 10th position. Dave Blom in 11th, Maurice Schuring in 12th ahead of Robin Knudson, Fabian Bock, Emily de Hoys, Victor Plateau, Clémentine Benoit, Remco Bon, Amandine Travadon from France, Harley Horton and Kian Sang. So Harley Horton, I think, might have been the driver that went skyward through turn 2 a little bit earlier on in the race, with Scott Westhovens unfortunately retiring on lap number 8. But Dylan LaHaye takes the win here in the 4th of 6 senior Rotax races here at the home of champions. They have Leistra, Robinson, Babikova, Barrett, Burgess, Koppens, Zanen, Roche, Butcher rounding at the top 10. Then it's Blom, Maurice Schuring, Robin Knudson, Fabian Bock, Emily de Hoys, Victor Plateau, Clémentine Benoit, Remco Bon, Amandine Travadon, Harley Horton and Kian Sang being the last of the 21 drivers that were classified, with Scott Westhovens having his race finished on lap number 8.